What's happening, tech titans and digital dynamos? Welcome back to Microsoft Sphere, where we dive headfirst into the stories that are shaping our world, faster than a speeding bullet train. The news cycle is absolutely electric right now, and if you blink, you might just miss something monumental. But don't worry, we've got you covered with the absolute latest, the most impactful, and the most talked about updates. Get ready, because we're about to unpack some major developments that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. First up, we're diving into some serious internal shakeups at a tech giant that are sparking major conversations about workplace policy and employee rights. Then, we're heading into the gaming universe, where a massive win for developers is sending ripples across the industry. We've got details on over 450 employees unionizing, a move that's already creating waves. Plus, get ready for a groundbreaking leap in artificial intelligence that could redefine how we interact with technology. Microsoft's AI division is making waves with its very first in-house models, and we're breaking down what this means. And finally, we're tackling a high-stakes probe that has a major corporation under the microscope with a powerful government agency. Stick around, because this is where you get the inside scoop. You won't want to miss a second of this. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Workplace policy under fire. In a move that's sending shockwaves through the tech community, Microsoft has reportedly terminated the employment of 2 more individuals who participated in recent protests. These demonstrations were reportedly centered around the company's contracts with the Israeli military and government. According to reports, the affected employees, identified as Nisreen Jaradat and Julius Shan, were dismissed in connection with protests that involved setting up encampments at Microsoft's headquarters. An organizer with the No Azure for Apartheid group, Hassam Nasser, stated that the firings were directly linked to these actions. The situation escalated further when 2 other employees were dismissed the previous night, reportedly for their involvement in a protest that led to protesters gaining access to the office of Microsoft President Brad Smith, where they live-streamed their activities. Nisreen Jaradat had previously sent a company-wide email expressing her frustration with the company's stance and treatment of her as a Palestinian worker, a move that bypassed internal restrictions on discussing sensitive geopolitical issues. The No Azure for Apartheid group has been increasingly vocal, staging public actions against Microsoft throughout the year. Earlier this spring, the group disrupted live-streamed presentations by Microsoft executives on several occasions. More recently, they attempted to occupy a plaza at Microsoft's headquarters. Although initially removed, they returned the following day, setting up tents and tables and even pouring red paint on a Microsoft sign, which resulted in 18 arrests. The protest in Smith's office on Tuesday marked another significant escalation. Following these events, Brad Smith held a press conference, stating that Microsoft is actively investigating potential misuse of its Azure services in Israel, but condemned the protesters' actions as unacceptable. Microsoft itself has declined to provide an official statement regarding these developments. This decision has ignited a firestorm of debate online, with many questioning the balance between employee activism and corporate policy, especially concerning sensitive geopolitical issues. The tech industry, often seen as progressive, is now grappling with how to handle employee dissent on matters of global importance. But the story doesn't end here. Stay tuned as we delve into another significant development that's creating a buzz in the gaming world. Next up, a major win for game developers is set to reshape the industry landscape. Gaming's new frontier, developers unionize. A seismic shift is occurring within the gaming industry, as over 450 developers at Microsoft-owned Blizzard Entertainment have officially unionized. This significant move, announced by the Communication Workers of America, CWA, marks the latest in a series of unionization efforts within Microsoft's expansive gaming division. The developers, many of whom work on the critically acclaimed Diablo series, have voiced concerns about job security and industry practices, particularly in the wake of recent mass layoffs across Microsoft's gaming subsidiaries. Kelly Yo, a game producer on Diablo and a member of the organizing committee, expressed the collective sentiment. With every subsequent round of mass layoffs, I've witnessed the dread in my coworkers grow stronger because it feels like no amount of hard work is enough to protect us. Yo added, I am overjoyed that we have formed a union. This is just the first step for us joining a movement spreading across an industry that is tired of living in fear. We are ready to begin fighting for real change alongside our Diablo colleagues. These sentiments echo the anxieties felt by many in the industry, exacerbated by Microsoft's recent workforce reductions affecting teams at Xbox, ZeniMax, and King, which also led to several game cancellations. Sky Hofling, a senior software engineer on Diablo and another organizing committee member, highlighted the impact on creative passion. I grew up playing Diablo, and I feel lucky that I get to work at Blizzard on a game that's very special to me and the gaming community. But passion can't protect us from job instability. Our union allows us to focus on making magical experiences for our players instead of worrying about the unstable job industry. The constant threat of layoffs creates a climate of fear, making it difficult for remaining employees to focus on their work. Ryan Littleton, a game designer on Diablo and organizing committee member, shared a personal anecdote. The day after the third round of mass layoffs, I walked into the office, and when I tried to open the door to the cafeteria, my badge was denied. For a moment, I wondered if getting breakfast was how I'd find out I was part of that round. While it turned out to be a technical issue, the constant worry is palpable. Littleton emphasized the union's role. A union allows us to organize across the industry to make great games and protect the developers who create them from the constant pressures of layoffs, passion tax, and crunch. Microsoft's commitment to a neutrality policy towards unions, established during its acquisition of Activision Blizzard King, is now being tested. This follows previous unionization efforts by various teams, including Activision QA, ZeniMax Media QA workers, Bethesda Game Studios, ZeniMax Online Studios, Raven Software QA, and other Blizzard teams like World of Warcraft and Overwatch 2. The ratification of contracts by ZeniMax QA and Raven Software QA signals a positive step forward for worker-led organizing in the gaming sector. The unionization of over 450 Blizzard developers is being hailed as a monumental victory for worker rights in the gaming industry, signaling a potential shift towards greater stability and fair treatment for creators. From the crucial advancements in the gaming sector, we now turn our attention to the rapidly evolving world of artificial intelligence. Next up, Microsoft unveils its own groundbreaking AI models, challenging the status quo. AI's new architect, Microsoft's in-house models emerge. In a significant move that could redefine the artificial intelligence landscape, Microsoft's AI division has officially announced the release of its first-ever in-house developed AI models, MAI-Voice-1 AI and MAI-1-preview. This development marks a new chapter in Microsoft's strategy, potentially setting it on a course to compete directly with established AI powerhouses like OpenAI, with models that could rival GPT-5 and DeepSeek. The MAI-Voice-1 speech model is engineered for remarkable speed and efficiency, capable of generating a minute's worth of audio in under a second using just one GPU. This technology is already being integrated into several Microsoft features, including Copilot Daily, where an AI host delivers the day's top news stories, and in generating podcast-style content to explain complex topics. Users can even experiment with MAI-Voice-1 through Copilot Labs, where they can input desired speech, customize voices, and adjust speaking styles. Complementing this is MAI-1-preview, a model trained on an extensive dataset utilizing approximately 15,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs. Microsoft describes MAI-1-preview as a model designed for users requiring AI assistance with following instructions and providing answers to everyday queries. Mustafa Suleiman, head of Microsoft AI, previously articulated the division's consumer-centric vision, stating, "My logic is that we have to create something that works extremely well for the consumer and really optimize for our use case." He further elaborated on leveraging vast consumer data for this purpose, emphasizing a focus on building models that serve as consumer companions. Microsoft plans to roll out MAI-1-preview for various text-based applications within its Copilot AI assistant, which currently relies on OpenAI's sophisticated large language models. The company has also initiated public testing of MAI-1-preview on the AI benchmarking platform LMA Arena, allowing for broader evaluation and feedback. We have big ambitions for where we go next, Microsoft AI stated in a recent blog post. Not only will we pursue further advances here, but we believe that orchestrating a range of specialized models serving different user intents and use cases will unlock immense value. This strategic push into developing proprietary AI models signals Microsoft's intent to enhance its AI capabilities, potentially reducing reliance on external partners and offering more tailored AI solutions across its product ecosystem. This strategic unveiling of homegrown AI models signals Microsoft's ambition to lead in the AI race, offering distinct advantages in customization and consumer-focused applications. Having explored the cutting edge of AI development, our attention now shifts to matters of national security and corporate accountability. Next up, a government probe scrutinizes Microsoft's ties to Chinese engineers working on sensitive defense projects. National Security Probe targets Microsoft's China ties. In a significant development with national security implications, the Department of Defense has launched a comprehensive audit into Microsoft's practices concerning the involvement of China-based engineers in its work on U.S. Defense Department cloud systems. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announced the probe, stating unequivocally, "The use of Chinese nationals to service Department of Defense cloud environments, it's over." This action follows a formal letter of concern issued to Microsoft, documenting a perceived breach of trust, and mandates a third-party audit of the company's digital escorts program, specifically examining code and submissions made by Chinese nationals. The program, which has been in place for nearly a decade, utilized Chinese coders who were remotely supervised by U.S. contractors to support sensitive DoD cloud environments. Hegseth criticized the arrangement, noting, "Program was designed to comply with contracting rules, but it exposed the department to unacceptable risk." I mean, if you're thinking America first and common sense, this doesn't pass either of those tests. The urgency of this investigation was amplified by a ProPublica report a month prior, which revealed that the U.S. digital escorts, tasked with monitoring the Chinese engineers, allegedly lacked the necessary technical expertise to identify potential security threats within the cloud systems. In response to these findings, Microsoft had announced its intention to cease the use of Chinese engineers for its U.S. military contracts. Hegseth confirmed that the Defense Department is initiating a separate investigation specifically into the digital escort program itself. These investigations will help us determine the impact of this digital escort workaround, Hegseth stated. Did they put anything in the code that we didn't know about? We're going to find out. Furthermore, Hegseth indicated that all software vendors operating within the Department of Defense will be required to terminate any Chinese involvement in DoD systems. "We expect vendors doing business with the Department of Defense to put U.S. national security ahead of profit maximization," Hegseth asserted, reiterating his stance that it's America first and it's common sense. The department is committed to thoroughly addressing the issue, ensuring it is resolved comprehensively. The Pentagon's rigorous investigation into Microsoft's use of Chinese engineers highlights critical concerns about data security and the imperative for government contractors to prioritize national security above all else. We've covered a lot of ground today, from internal policies to global security matters. But before we sign off, let's do a quick recap of the top stories. Next up, a rapid-fire rundown of everything you need to know from today's show. And that's a wrap on another action-packed episode of Microsoft Sphere. We saw major shifts in workplace policy with employee firings, a huge win for developers as over 450 Blizzard employees unionized, groundbreaking advancements in AI with Microsoft's new in-house models, and a critical government probe into Microsoft's security practices. What a show! Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to Microsoft Sphere for more essential updates, and hit that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Let us know your thoughts on these stories in the comments below, and follow us on all our social channels for even more behind-the-scenes content. We'll see you next time.